Hello, we are going to talk about a very important topic today. We're talking about how girls are groomed online for sex trafficking. And if you are a boy or a girl using any online platform, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Tinder, Bumble, Tumblr, Pinterest, everything, you are potentially at risk. So we want to talk about what traffickers, pimps, what they use as tactics to groom you. So we're going to talk about this. Grooming refers to, I'm reading my notes. Grooming refers to when a predator builds an emotional, so that can be romantic or codependent, connection with their target to gain their trust for the ultimate purpose of sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, or trafficking. Most people do not realize that they're being groomed until it's too late, which makes sense because this person, as part of their grooming process, if they're doing a good job, they've built an emotional connection with you. They have gained your trust and they are somebody that you would never suspect. That's what makes this so terrifying. So, of course, you don't know until it's too late. Here are the main 5 ways that predators use to traffic people online. These did not come from me and my creative, whimsical, this is probably what it is. My husband runs an anti-trafficking organization. We work really tightly with a lot of anti-trafficking groups and have talked to girls who have been trafficked. So this is just the real deal. All right, so online, we love to post all of our things, all of our woes and our complaints and our successes, all of the things. These are things that groomers will use against you if you give them the opportunity. So girls posting your half-naked photos in your swimsuit seems cute. You might feel cute. Stop it. Because this shows a guy that you're willing to show off your body. You might be willing to take a risk. You're looking for compliments. You want to be told you're beautiful, sexy, hot, all of the things. That might not be what your intention is, but that is how it's received to a predator. So your vulnerabilities are used against you. This might be just targeting your insecurities. If you're online looking for attention, affirmation, love, if you are showing that you are in very obvious discord with your friends and family, if you're showing that you're isolated, depressed, suicidal, this gives somebody the opportunity to come in and fill a gap for you. So keep your personal information on lock, watch what you're posting, and keep it airtight. If somebody drops into your DMs all smooth and wanting to know about you, telling you you're beautiful and you don't know much about them, just be aware, because we can create fake profiles online. You know this. So a lot of times who you think you're talking to, maybe he looks like a really attractive 19-year-old, he might be a 60-year-old dude behind the screen, right? You just don't know. So just because somebody tells you that you're beautiful, because they tell you that they care about you, because they tell you that they love you, that kind of doesn't mean anything online, to be fully honest, and it can actually be very dangerous. So they will build a relationship with you. They will court you on social media as a friend or in pursuit of a relationship, telling you how beautiful you are, how much they care for you. They'll start to isolate you or manipulate you by telling you that they're the only one who really cares about you. Be very aware of this. There are people in your life who care about you. If one person feels the freedom to stake a claim to you and tell you that they're the only one who understands you, they're the only one who will ever get you, who will ever love you, whether this is a potential trafficking sign or not, that is a very bold red flag of something that you should avoid in relationship, period, if they're going to isolate you and stake an emotional claim on you. But this is something that groomers do use to isolate their victims. And it is important to remember that these people have a full-time job, of bringing in the people that they want to victimize and build a relationship. So they're going to be very savvy, very strategic. They're not messing around. Even if they look kind, even if they look young, they always use fake accounts, fake photos, fake names. So start to think like a detective when you're talking to people online. Okay, so secrecy. This would be the third thing that groomers use. They encourage secretive behavior, and they will encourage their subjects to hide details about their conversations with you, or to keep you separate from the people closest to them. They might not want to seek much approval from people or be very pertinent in your life. They might want to just isolate you, and the goal is to divide you from the people that might show red flags about this person. We have heard stories about guys who will meet the family and they'll take the girls on dates. Everything seems hunky-dory before it switches. So if you have anybody in your family, maybe it's a dad or a parent, who expresses a little bit of concern, it's not always wise to just brush that off. Parents have great instincts. Parental note on this: if your child is talking to someone online and they will not let you know about it and they keep it very secret, this is a possible sign that a groomer is encouraging this secretive behavior. If you ask your child who they're talking to and they get defensive, just understand that you are the parent. You have a right to know. And if you're a teenager and your parent seems super invasive, there are certain things that I know are extremely annoying, but at the same time, it's kind of a big deal. You'd rather have your mom rummaging around in your business than being trafficked, transported, and enslaved. It's just the reality. All right, thing number 4 that is used to groom potential victims. This one is terrifying to me. I have worked in a high school for a long time, and this topic of nudes, sending nude photos or compromising photos, kind of seems like it's become standard in relationships. So it's not a stretch for a guy in your school to ask you for a nude picture or a partially nude picture. And that's dangerous because young girls are being trained into this idea that it's just kind of a norm, it's expected, and it's not dangerous. And that is where I get terrified, because young girls are thinking that it's not dangerous, and this is incredibly dangerous. Not only is it dangerous, it is a weird relational entry point. Maybe we can talk about that later. But most girls expect to be asked for compromising photos when they're communicating with a guy, and groomers know this, so they will capitalize on it, and they will ask you for photos. And if they don't ask you for photos online, they'll ask it maybe when you're in person, and this can and will be used against you as forms of blackmail. They want to use it to silence their victims, threatening to show the images to their families, post them all over social media, show them to all their friends, and these girls and boys hide if they're in danger because they don't want the shame of having these pictures shown. So there's that. The blackmailing can go to an extreme where the trafficker will invite the child or the individual to a party in which they will proceed to gang rape them and video the act, utilizing this as the final blackmail to get them to work for them. So another parental note here: it is essential, I cannot stress this enough, to build a culture of healthy communication in your household where no matter what circumstance your child gets into, that they feel comfortable coming to you with that information. So to put this in concrete terms, if your child knows that they have horrendous digital information about them that somebody is holding over their head, and they feel scared to bring it to you and tell you because what if you kick them out of the house, or what if you don't love them anymore, then they might not tell you, and you need to know what's happening. So make it clear to your kid that you still love them, and you will help them, and you will support them no matter what they get themselves into, even if the information that they bring to you is a lawnmower. Even if the information that they bring to you is really hard to hear, and it is heartbreaking. So that is an essential note. That could potentially save your child's life. by the way. On to thing number 5 that traffickers can potentially use to groom their potential victims is buying them gifts, expensive items. And this is purely a form of lure and manipulation. So if they have something to hold over your head, and if they can get you to feel like you owe them something or you're in debt to them, then that's how this is effective. So that might include things like paying for them to get their hair or nails done, buying expensive jewelry or purses, taking you on lavish experiences. This is so that the person that they're grooming feels special and feels seen, heard, loved, whatever it is. So keep in mind that their full-time job is to build a seemingly legit relationship with you. It is to build trust. So ultimately, again, this provides an additional tool of manipulation when the groomer needs the subject's obedience. So if you are in a relationship where you see any of these things happening, or you notice it in your child, if they just randomly come home with really nice things, or they got their nails done, their hair done, that is a massive red flag. So in review, we have our 5 main things that people will use online to groom their victims. This is utilizing your vulnerabilities online. They want to use the relationship with you to isolate you and to drive you into secrecy. Strategy number 4 is utilizing nude photos, and these don't have to be fully nude. It can be anything, or videos. So literally just stop sending them, stop taking them. I don't know how else to say this. It compromises your safety in a massive way, and boys don't need this. We don't need to perpetuate pornographic culture, and girls, if you don't send a guy a nude photo and he still wants to date you, that's the guy you want. Not the guy who's going to manipulate you into putting your body out there in a format that he can, like, distribute to his friends. We just don't need this. Thing number 5 is gifts. So ladies, if you are seeing any of these things, these are legitimate red flags, and thousands and thousands of girls and boys are being trafficked every year and disappearing from their houses due to this. So you have to be careful of your online conduct. I know that your parents might say that and it sounds annoying, but I am telling you, and I have talked to people who have experienced this stuff. If you know of a friend who is talking to somebody that fits some of these qualities, if they don't listen to you, and they're not really willing to hear that the person they're talking to might be dangerous, I would suggest that you go to their parents, or that you report it to your local law enforcement and they can look into it. So those are my suggestions. Just so you guys know, if this grooming process is successful, here's where it gets rough, but I want you to be educated because I need you to know. If the grooming process is successful, the lifespan of a trafficked girl, once she is officially trafficked, is 7 years because of the abuse, the drugs, the emotional strain, the whole deal. On average, a pimp in Denver, Colorado makes $30,000 to $50,000 a week. Therefore, they will be incredibly stealthy with their approach. You are not just dealing with your average everyday Joe. These are people's livelihoods, and this is the fastest growing crime in the United States. Another thing to be aware of is that 100% of all sex buyers are users of pornography. Pornography is not an innocent bystander in this topic. Pornography is the oil to the fire. It is just fueling this thing like crazy. Men don't just buy children for sex randomly, okay? Every single sex buyer is a porn user. Okay, and then final thing, just so you know, is let's talk about what the profile of one of these sex buyers is. Generally, they are 45 to 60-year-old white men, married with children. They have an average income of over $75,000 a year, and the average amount that they'll pay for some sort of sexual encounter is $200. So that man doesn't fit our potential judgment of somebody who might be a criminal. They fit more the profile of your next door neighbor, the guy who works with you, who works with your dad's friends. So this is all very confusing and very scary. And at Girl Above, our calling and our passion is to help young girls be healthy. And at the end of the day, if you are utilizing your online social media platform to be affirmed and to meet guys and to use it as your dating site, you're just putting yourself at incredible risk. And we have to be safe online. Protect your friends, protect yourself. Healthy relationships are not manipulative. Healthy relationships do not begin with sex, and they do not revolve around sex. That's just true, okay? So if you have the belief that healthy relationships revolve around sex, you can understand how you're putting yourself at risk to not even recognize the signs of an unhealthy man. So if you have questions about this, put them in the comments section. Share this video with everybody who you think needs to hear it. Again, this is happening on all social media platforms, every single social media platform. And if you want more information about any of this, again, put it in the comments section or email hello@girlabove.com. Bye!